introduce our speaker this evening, Mrs. Kim McNeal. Kim McNeal is a HUD certified counselor and is the lead instructor for Consumer Education Services, Inc., CESI. CESI offers credit counseling, housing counseling, financial literacy, education, debit management, and consolidation plans. Kim will be speaking about housing, rental, and utility assistance. If anyone has any questions, raise your hands and Caleb will bring you the microphone. Now, let's give Ms. Kim McNeal a warm RMBC welcome.
I hope everyone can hear me. I do have a big mouth. I not only teach at CESI, I teach at my church as well, and you got to holler sometimes if you want them to hear you. So thank you for having me here. And I hope tonight, if anything else, that I don't just give you instruction, because that is boring. But at the end of the day, I hope everyone here has hope for their finances, for their financial future. I don't care where you are. I don't care how old you are. I don't care where you're starting from. If it involves money, it is recoverable. If it involves your finances, your credit, everything can change on a dime. But we do have to partner with you. And I like to use this example. A good friend of mine, she is a dog trainer. And the first thing she does when people call, say, oh, my dog's not acting well, she will say, okay, I need to spend 3 hours at your home. And they're like, what? No, we're going to bring the dog to you. She said, no, I need to spend 3 hours at your home. And what she does is she comes like when the kids get home from school, while dinner's being prepared, she watches how they interact with the dog, and she watches how everybody goes to bed. Because very often it's not the dog that's broken, it's the family. Because they'll feed the dog, and then the father will say, no. The kids will allow to get up on the furniture, but the mother says no. And so the dog is confused. And it's the same thing with finances and with assistance and things like that. People come to us and they said, here's my credit score, here's my bank account, fix it, give it back to me. And I tell you, no, it doesn't work that way. Not at all. You are thoroughly and totally involved. But the good thing is that you're also in charge. Your money, your finances, your credit score are not the boss of you. You are the boss of it. And I love giving this information. I hope you can hear the passion in my voice. Giving it to people because it changes lives. And the reason people make finances so complicated is to keep people where they are. It's to keep people not knowing stuff. It's to keep people in the same place. And I hate that. Because that's that behind the scenes machinations. But we are here to bring daylight. We are here to bring information. I will answer any questions that you have. And if I don't know, but I will find out. I will go to a subject matter expert so that we can get in touch with whomever we can to make sure all of your questions are answered. Now, what I will say is this. I can't answer specific questions about your credit. That's not the venue, but you see on the sheets that were handed out, we do have 14 counselors. If you call our 800 number, they are all wonderful. They are all HUD certified. And let me tell you, that HUD certification was a bear. I never felt so silly in my life. I studied for about, the manual itself is about 600 pages. And when you take the test, you never know which one you're going to get. There's 7 rotating tests. And so you have to know all of it. It's so serious, they flew me to Texas so that I could sit for a week and learn besides all my other studying. And the funny thing is, I touched down, I heard people coughing on the plane. And I was like, isn't this something? I was like, I better not cough. Because I heard something about on the news, and about this new virus that was going around. I was like, huh. And 1 or 2 people had on masks. I was like, I wonder what that is. I touched down that Sunday night. That Tuesday, we got an email, clean out your desk, go home, don't come back. Haven't been back since. Been working. And it's a funny thing is during COVID, my hair turned completely white. That's the truth. That is the truth. My husband was like, woo, that thing scared you, didn't it? And it sure did. I was like, but that's okay. We're on the other side of it. Thank God for that. So, there are a few things I want to talk to you about, and this is not just for you. Please, please share the information. Please, we do so many different things. We teach financial literacy. I teach how to save money, how to budget. I teach you how to get on top of your credit score. It is not complicated. It is not a big deal. You can raise your credit score quicker than it falls. Trust me. We teach you about saving, and the most important thing is that B word, budgeting. If you do not have a budget, you will fail financially. That's just the way it is. Just the same thing it is. And so we teach all of these things. Our classes are free. What? Yes, they are absolutely free because we are paid by HUD. Housing Urban, exactly. So when we come out to places like this, or we go to classes or we teach classes, it is free for anyone who is sitting in the seats. Any student, any client, we are paid by HUD so that we can get the word out to you so that people can become financially stable and able, and we can begin to grow that generational wealth. And COVID hit us hard, particularly the African American and the Latina families. We were hit exceptionally hard with deaths and also with losing equity in your homes. And we want to stop that hemorrhaging. We want to make sure, and there are tools in place that will help that. The North Carolina Homeowner Assistance Fund, you will see the 800 numbers, so if you call us, we'll get you wherever you need to be because everybody's problems and needs are different. So we are in touch with all these different agencies. We do the budget with you. We talk to you. In some cases, we talk you off the ledge. We give you hope, and we get you in touch with the right organizations. So the North Carolina Homeowner Assistance Fund was created for North Carolina residences to prevent delinquency, default, displacement, and foreclosures due to COVID-19. And qualified North Carolina homeowners who are past due, that is 30 days past due, on their mortgage or their rent or anything like that, we can help. There is money. It came to North Carolina, $10 million. That's what Joe Biden sent to us. And we want to make sure we get it in your hands. We have boots on the ground, and all you have to do is call us to make sure that you are eligible or find out what you need. Maybe you're not eligible for one, but maybe for another. You can directly contact NCHFA. That's also on there. And that's for low-income senior citizens if you know any who need home repairs. CPLP will give you up to $50,000 as a grant. You don't have to pay it back. And $8,000 for North Carolina First. And so if for some reason, your house went wonky during COVID, please contact us and let us help you. And also, they also help with payment assistance for your primary residence, not for rentals. If it is something you're making money off of, no, it has to be your primary residence. You can get assistance mortgage. You can get it reinstated so that you can catch up on your mortgage payments. Maybe you can afford it, but you just got behind during COVID. They will help you with forbearance, delinquency, or defaults, or any other housing-related costs, such as homeowners insurance, flood insurance, mortgage insurance, and HOA fees and dues. So please, please don't sit and suffer in silence. That's just pride. If they are giving out money, we need to be the first ones in line because we've certainly earned it. And if you're over 62, there's a lot of things available for you. There is a rental assistance and rental assistance program. And if you know any younger people who are looking for this kind of help, please, again, call us. We'll get you where you need to go. There are public housing, and they're all, if you have a voucher already, and we can help you find available apartments in your area through the local housing authority. I will tell you this, it is hard. It is hard. I'm not going to sit here and play games and tell you that it's easy. It is very difficult, but if you know someone who knows someone who knows someone, like we do, we can put you in touch with those people and stay on top of it, because they do go fast. I want to make sure people get everything that they need. And this is something that I do talk to people about who are over 62. You have to be careful, and you have to make sure it's right for you. How many of you have heard of reverse mortgages? Okay. How many of you have been scared of a reverse mortgage? Okay, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Not so much anymore. And I don't want to go on a tangent, but it's important to know where these things came from. Remember the housing bubble 10 years ago? And it coincided with H1N1. It's funny how housing crisis always follows a virus. It's like, what in the world? But that's what happened. And this is what was happening. People, if you could sign your name, you could get a mortgage, period. If you were breathing, had a heartbeat, you could get a mortgage. And the more you were willing debt to take on, they would give you. This is why. Because they would take all of these loans and then they would sell them to someone else who would make more money and then sell it to someone else. And this was happening. You would lose your down payment. You would lose your equity. You would lose everything in it. They got to keep your money. You lost everything and can't do anything, but it was a money-making scheme. But it was a house of cards. It was not sustainable. There were people with these million-dollar homes who earned maybe $80,000 a year, could no way afford that. No way. And so there was an organization called the CFPB, Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, that came as a result of that. Senator Elizabeth Warren, she fought and got that in place. And because of that, with reverse mortgage, you now have to have reverse mortgage counseling. A HUD certified counselor and a reverse mortgage certified counselor sits with you for an hour, hour and a half, goes over these questions, tells you what to look for, what you have to do, what you can do, and what your rights are. You have to do this before you get a reverse mortgage. And you have to be able to answer these questions on your own so that there are no lies and trickeration like there was before. So you don't have to be as afraid. And I think there are some really good products out there. There are thousands of them. But one of the ways you can be sure that an organization is on the up and up is if it has a Better Business Bureau rating of A+. CESI is A+. We don't loan money, but we do the pre-counseling so that you can get a reverse mortgage. A reverse mortgage counseling costs anywhere between $150 and $500. However, from now until January 31st, it is free through us. You can get your reverse mortgage certificate and counseling through us for free. And that way, you're ready. And so if you find a lender who is good, or a reverse mortgage company, again, make sure they have an A+ rating, not an A. I said A+, with Better Business Bureau and rating. And if you have equity in your home, that's a good way to live if you need to catch up. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. What about if you're dealing with the VA?
With what?
As far as the ratings with the Business Bureau, are they rated by them?
The VA, well, the VA doesn't necessarily do, I don't know if there's an arm that does reverse mortgages. The VA does down payment assistance, for sure. They do that, and they do it very well. That's a longer wait than if you go through FHA, HFA, but you can get, easier credit terms through the VA. Yeah, through the VA and the USDA. Those loan products are really good for people who don't earn a whole lot, but it'll get you in your home. And they make sure that you can afford it. That's a great way to get your first home. And they can be coupled with home, down payment assistance grants that we have in North Carolina. The grants just turned over, if you know any young people who are first-time home buyers, or if you haven't bought a home in 3 years, absolutely. They are great. Yes. Oh, December 31st. Yep. They're free from now till December 31st. Another good thing, and I didn't put this on here, but if you want to write it down, annualcreditreport.com. Annualcreditreport.com, all one word. You are allowed one credit report, free credit report from all three bureaus, Equifax, TransUnion, and what's the other E? Experian. You're allowed to get one a year for free. However, since COVID, you're allowed to get one a week for free. One a week. And if I can please, if I can take off my educator hat and put on my auntie hat, please, if you don't do anything else today, freeze your credit. If you're not buying a house, if you're not buying a home, and if you're not applying for credit, freeze it. It is free. You go on to annualcreditreport.com, and while you're getting your free credit report, make sure you freeze your credit. What that does, it is protection for you. If your phone is stolen, your identity is stolen, it has to come through you in order for them, the thieves, to open up a new account. You will get an alert that somebody is doing something really bad with your credit or trying to open up a line of your credit or your cable or whatever. It'll stop them cold, and it is free. Please, yeah, annualcreditreport.com. If you have children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, please freeze the children's credit. This is where we're seeing ID theft just go through the roof. And thank goodness for CFPB, because they really made a way for people to circumvent a lot of the issues that come with stolen ID. You can report it to the police, your credit company, all those different things, and you can stop the damage, you can stop the hemorrhage, but you don't know unless somebody's trying to do it. But with kids, it is so important. A child should not be 16 years old, going for their first job and find out their credit is already ruined. That should not be. And every time you turn around, a doctor's office is asking you for a social security number, and you don't know how they handle it. You don't know if they're writing it on a piece of paper. Well, just give it to me. It's like, no. What are you doing it with it? How are you, protecting it? For children, that is so important. Freezing it is free. And you can thaw it whenever you need to. Thawing takes 2 weeks. It does. But if you need to get a car, apply for a mortgage or reverse mortgage, just give yourself 2 weeks lead time. That's all you need. And you can apply. But this way you keep a handle on it. You know what's going on with your credit. Veterans, if you're a veteran and you go to the VA, please freeze your credit. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. As you're talking about freezing the credit.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's just say I freeze my credit, right? Would that stop the scores from continuing on?
No.
Okay.
It will not. And not only that, it won't hurt your credit. It won't hurt it not one little bit. You will not lose not 1 point. That's a really good question. That's a really good point. No. If you need to, because the way credit scores work is if you're paying your bills on time, they report you good on your credit report. It will not stop any of that. It stops if somebody is applying for credit in your name or using your social security number or anything like that. But yeah, that's a very good point. Any other questions about that? Okay. With, and I'm not pushing this, but I'm saying it's an option and it's not as bad as it used to be. I am trying to push my own dad. He's 89. And I'm like, Dad, what do you need a 4-bedroom house for? It's my house. I was like, you can get your money out of it. You've been here 51 years. And he's being stubborn. I was like, Dad, that's what a house is for, to give you some breathing space. I was like, Dad, I don't need it. I'm an only child. I don't need 4 bedrooms. You know, my husband and I, the two of us in a condo, we're good. Please get your money out of it. It is your money. Or if you're fine with it, it's a great way to establish generational wealth. And you know, and there's so many different ways that we can do that. But again, like I said, don't let reverse mortgages scare you, because they're not the same kind of product that they had before. So, getting down to, I see my time is getting there quick. Yeah, I want to watch it. I want to hold y'all real long. But I do want to be realistic about finances. I do want to talk about that, because there are times when we're pressured. I teach a course called Financial Trauma, Traits, and Triggers. We all have them. We all have them. And we all make these specific vows to ourselves that will either help or hurt our finances. I was teaching a class on budgeting, and there's a young man, you could tell he was just hanging around and hanging around and hanging around. And I was like, what in the world? And he waited for everybody to leave, and he sat across from me, and he was getting emotional. And I was like, well, what's going on? Because the largest part of your budget should always be your overhead, your rent, your mortgage. That should be the largest part. And so I was talking to him about it. When he and his wife got married, his wife made a vow that he didn't know anything about. She made a vow to herself that when she got grown, she would never cook again. Now, I don't know what the trauma was in her life, but she held to that. She held to that vow. And they ate out every day, every meal. And I said, well, how much are you spending on food? You know, expecting them to be like, because for me, out of bounds would be like, woo, $1,200, $1,500 a month. He said $4,000. That's $50,000 a year. That's $50,000 a year. He was beside himself. Do you see how our triggers and our traumas can inform ourselves? And there was no talking her out of it. None whatsoever. He's like, we will never get a house. We will never get ahead of our bills. Yes, ma'am. Because they had already trained their kids not to like house food. Yeah, home cooked meals. No, he tried to cook for the family. He tried, but they wouldn't eat it. It was a waste of money. And when it's 4 against 1, that's kind of hard. And the wife was supporting the kids. She's supporting them, in their decision. She was supporting them. Yeah, they should eat out. Yeah, they should do, yeah, growing boys. But that's the way we do it. And let's bring it a little closer to home. Are you a person who needs to have a new church outfit every week? Are you haunting Burlington? Kohl's? Macy's? Are you all up in Crabtree? Budget that. Budget that. Nobody cares. Is your car payment more than your rent or your mortgage? That's off base. And we got to be as plain talking as we can if we're going to see results in our community. Healthy individuals, financially healthy, create financially healthy families, create neighborhoods and communities. It's how we all get stronger. One affects another. We don't live in a silo. we are with one another. Yes, sir.
Yes, do you all have, programs that help first-time homeowners or you give out referrals to people?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. 1,000 times yes.
No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
actually what I'm saying is, do you all go through the process of finding someone to work with individuals
Hmm.
that will allow them to come into a home?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the bulk of our business. What we do, let me describe the process to you. You have to, just like a reverse mortgage, you have to go through counseling. In order to be eligible for down payment assistance, there's CPLP, there's NC First, all of these different ones, and those are just two that help with down payment assistance, and it's on a sliding scale. And we work in all 100 counties in North Carolina. Our classes are online. It's an 8-hour class. It is $25. That's the only class we charge for because people have you got to have some skin in the game.
Which class is that?
It's for the home buyer assistance, the pre-home buyer counseling. It's an 8-hour class. We hold it once a month. You can sign up online at cesisolutions.org. You can sign up, and it is for her first-time home buyers. We educate you we usually have a lender who will speak to our prospective home buyers. We will have a realtor on and a banker. They all take that 8 hours. It's a comprehensive class. And then at the end of it, you pay your $25. We give you a certificate. Certificate is good for a year. It says you've gone through that because you cannot get down payment assistance from anywhere without that certificate. You've got to know what it is. We've got to explain it to you, how it works, how much you're eligible for, and all of that stuff. And then we walk you through it. You can work with that realtor, that lender, whomever, and we also have the counseling to walk you through it, to get you in that house.
Are those classes on Saturdays?
They're always on a Saturday. They are, except for this, well, yeah, this class will take place this Saturday, yes. Starts at 8:30, goes to 4. Sign up online. Anybody you know who is looking for a home. And there are times where we know about deals. There is a new apartment complex. Actually, they are condos in Durham, not too far from Duke. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. They're about $225 to $275, and they're eligible for down payment assistance. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And there's 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom. And so if anybody's interested, I can send that to you, but it's been a month, so they might be sold out by now. So, but we know about deals like that if they come to us and they're interested in filling, up their space as well. But yeah, we'll walk you through the process. It has been difficult as far as finding a place, but the market has slowed down quite a bit, so our realtors are really good with that. And not everybody works with down payment assistance because that means the realtor has to take a little bit less money, and they just don't feel like being bothered. So you want to get with people who are passionate about it, who know it inside out, and can tell you the truth of what you need to do. To qualify for down payment assistance, you got to have a 640 credit score. 640, and that's so easy to get. It is not a problem. And that's fortunately where most people fall. So if you have a 620 or 625, don't be discouraged. We can get you up. Pay off bills, do what you have to do, and we can work with lenders, and help you budget. Because that's what gets you where you're going. Knowing how much you have in and how much you can afford to go out, how much house you can get, Any other questions? Anything? Yes, ma'am. No, we don't really work with rent to own. I found that those have really been specifically for a landlord, and they advertise because they set up their own terms. We work primarily through down payment assistance. Yes. Uh-huh. Yes, call us. Call us and we will get you to, because CPLP has different divisions, and so we got to get you to the right one. And what were you looking for? Yes. Yeah. Definitely give us a call. Definitely give us a call and we will get there. And like I said, we have 14 counselors. We're open from 9 to 6. Yes,
So
sir.
that is what you want, 62 and over for home repair.
62 and over, yes. And you have to be 62 to get a reverse mortgage too. I don't think it's 63. I'm pretty sure it's 62. Yes. And they can work with you to find out how much equity you have in your home. And it does have to be assessed. I believe they provide the appraiser, the assessor, just to make sure they're not pouring a bunch of money into a house that, cannot withstand it, or that needs a whole lot more work than it's worth. But yeah, we can help you with that. Yes.
What about if someone, gone through a foreclosure?
Mm-hmm.
Do you all have programs that help them to get back on track, try to get back into a home?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean it when I say this. No financial situation is fatal.
Since he's recording, we're not using the microphone. Would you mind maybe repeating the question? Just so they can pick it up.
Oh, yes. Yeah. About a person who has gone through foreclosure, can we help them walk through that? Yes, we absolutely can. In fact, I had a friend who did go through a foreclosure. She was back in a brand new home in 5 years. Yes, it can be done, but we're just so afraid of this. And part of that class that I talk about, the triggers and the trauma, there's also a lot of shame around finances, and it shouldn't be. It has nothing to do with you're a good person or a bad person. Very often it's sickness. It's medical that drives people into foreclosure or underneath. It is medical. Very, very often. If it's not you, it's chronic illness in somebody else, and that's where COVID showed up. That's been the issue. So yes, absolutely no shame, and we can walk you through it. Yes. Mr. Bob, you had a question? Or did you forget what it was? Okay. I took too long. Yes, indeed. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. When you mentioned about President Biden signed this I guess, deal or whatever about the 10 million. Okay, now the individual is eligible for like 50,000, right?
It depends. It really depends on the situation and exactly.
Okay.
That's why I say call the counselor so they know how much money you have, how much money you need, where you live. They're factors, but the money is available.
Okay, the money is available. Is there a time limit on how long you have before you can try to apply for it?
Till it runs out.
Okay.
ASAP. All the time. As soon as you hear about anything, go for it. Yes, ma'am.
Between when someone first applies, or goes to the class, and when someone is actually able to go to program.
Okay, which class are you talking about? The pre-purchase?
The pre-purchase and workshop, yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it really does depend. Like I said, we have those classes once a month, but once you start working with a realtor, are you going to live in Clayton, or are you going to live in Raleigh, in Wake? Are you looking in Wake Forest? Or are you looking in Wendell? What is available? That's how long it takes. That's the longest part of the process, is finding a home to get into. And that's where you're gonna need the most patience. You know, I had a young man and his wife, and he came on did a testimonial. It took them about 18 months, and he got discouraged. And my boss would say, when you get discouraged, call in, we'll talk you off the ledge and make you keep going. And the young man was so happy he did. Because after a year, he was like, I give up. This is stupid. I'm not gonna do it. It's like, no, no, no. It's gonna take a minute. Settle. Let's do this. And like I said, the market seems to be easing up a little bit. And so there might be more products and more stuff being built. So, you know, that it takes patience. I can't lie to you. It takes patience. Yes, sir.
Could you elaborate more on about housing vouchers? What's going on with that?
That I do not know. It is so fluid, it's not funny. So many people have been displaced during COVID, and the problem with this, because there was the housing moratorium, it wasn't just the tenants that got behind, but landlords got behind. You know, 5, 6 months, a year, and a lot of them lost their property as well. And so I don't know how many were reverted back to the state, the bank, whatever. It's so, it really is. It's hard to say. Yeah, yeah. Any other questions I can answer for you? Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you for inviting me. I enjoyed it. My pleasure. And there is not. I pulled my phone this week because it was ringing off the hook, and I told my boss, no, I'm not doing this. And my husband, who works from home, wasn't real happy with it either. So I unplugged that puppy. But you have my email, please.
Ms. O'Neill, we thank you for that information that you have given us. It was very enlightening. And like she said, most of the time, a lot of it does affect us and our family. So we wanted to go out and share this information, that we have knowledge and someone that we can call on to answer some of these important questions that we all face. Again, thank you. We appreciate it. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to my pastor so we can start Bible study. Amen.